A very good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we have seen Unit 2. In the Unit 2, we have discussed about object-oriented programming concepts, object class, right? Data abstraction concepts we have discussed. And two more object-oriented concepts are inheritance and polymorphism. These two concepts which we are going to learn in Unit 3, right? So first we discuss what is meant by inheritance, then we'll discuss what is meant by polymorphism, right? So what is meant by inheritance? So generally, the inheritance is one property which just like in the real world, uh, inheriting the properties of from parent to child, right? Some of the properties of parent are inherited into the child here, right? So same way. So here in object-oriented programming, the all the programs are divided number of any programs are divided number of objects here, and objects are created by using classes. Classes will have the properties of the object, right? So here the definition of this inheritance is capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from other class. It's called inheritance. That is deriving a new class from the existing class is called inheritance here, right? So then all the existing class properties are inherited into the derived class here, right? So in which the class that inherits the properties from other existing class is called subclass or child class or derived class here. And the class from which the properties are inherited or derived, okay? So that existing class is called superclass or parent class here, right? So the parent class is nothing but the existing class is called parent class, and subclass is nothing but the class which is derived from that existing class is called subclass or derived class or child class here, right? So in this, the child class inherit all the properties of the existing class, and it may add some new properties also if required, right? So that is a concept of the inheritance. What is the importance? Why we have to go for the inheritance? Why and when to use the inheritance? What are the modes of inheritance? That is a different accessing modes of the base class members. Next, and types of inheritance, we can also call it as a forms of inheritance. Types of inheritance, we can also call it as a forms of inheritance. And then what is base class and derived class constructors and destructors and virtual base class. Basically, this is a part 1 of the unit 3, right? In this part 1, we will discuss about what is inheritance and why and when to use the inheritance. What are the different modes of inheritance? That is access modes of the base class members, and different forms or types of inheritances, base and derived class constructors and destructors, which we will discuss, and as well as virtual base class we will discuss here in the part 1 of the unit 3, right? Let us go one by one. You can see why and when to use the inheritance. Basically, let us consider a group of vehicles like bus, car, and truck here, right? So in those, there are some methods, or we can also call operations or functions here. That is fuel amount and capacity and apply brake. Let take these are the methods, or these are the operations which is to be performed on these vehicles here. Suppose here for every vehicle, these are common properties here, like fuel amount, right? Suppose when you pour the fuel in your vehicle, how much amount has to be paid, and what is the fuel capacity of each vehicle here, and every vehicle will have the brake, apply brakes here. These are some operations which is to be performed on the vehicles here, right? So these are common operations, right? So we need to create classes for the bus, car, and truck here, and in each class we have to write these methods here, right? We have to implement these methods: fuel amount, capacity, and apply brakes here, and will be same for all these three classes here. So you can see in the diagram. See, we have a diagram here. First one is class, right? So this is the bus class, and this is the car class, and this is for class truck here. And every class is having these three common methods here: fuel amount. Bus is also having the fuel amount, this operation, and capacity, and apply the brakes, right? And for car also same: fuel amount, capacity, apply the brakes, and truck fuel amount, capacity, apply the brakes. So these are three methods which are written in three different classes here, implemented in three different classes here. But the thing is, this is the duplication. There is a redundancy. So why we have to go for writing or implementing the same methods in three different classes when they are same here, right? When their operations are same here. So that is, in order to reduce this duplication concept, we have to go for the inheritance. The inheritance provides the reusability capacity here. Reusability means if the more than one classes are having some common operations, we define in one class, and that those operations can be shared by all the classes which require these common operations here. So that the reusability of methods will increase, and as well as the memory space also we can reduce here, right? You can see the inheritance, process of, and other regions increase the chances of error, and data redundancy. Redundancy is nothing but what? Duplication of data. Redundancy is nothing but what? Duplication. That is, in previous we have seen the same method we have written the 3 times here, right? That is a data duplication. That is called redundancy. To avoid this type of situation, inheritance is used here. So create a class vehicle and write all these three common operations in the class vehicle, and then create some other classes, class car, class bus, class truck, right? And inherit the properties of vehicle, right? So that the same code, same methods can be shared by all these three classes here. So that which uses the reusability. That means the same operations are used by car class, same operations are used by truck class, same operations are used by bus class here, right? So that is called reusability, right? So how to create that one here? You can see in this diagram, see the first class vehicle is created here. So let this class is called existing class, right? In which I have defined three methods here, or operations: fuel amount, capacity, apply brake here, because these three operations are common for any kind of vehicle here. So that is what these common operations are applied or implemented in the class vehicle here. And after that, I derived three classes here: class bus, class car, and class truck here. So basically this bus, car, and truck, these classes are called derived classes, or subclasses here. So these classes are derived from the class vehicle, so that the properties of, as per the definition of the inheritance, inherit the properties of existing class into a new class. So these are the new classes: bus, car, truck here. So these will inherit all the properties of its parent class. What is the parent class here? Parent class is vehicle here, and child class are bus, car, truck here. So all these classes will inherit all these properties: fuel amount, capacity, apply brakes here, right? So this these operations are implemented only once, but used by three different classes here, right? So that it is reducing the duplication. It is reducing the duplication of the code, and reusability also increases here, because only once the code is implemented for these three operations that can be used by bus, car, and truck here. Same methods can be used because every vehicle is having the common here. Similarly, you can create for any, like suppose here, for example, if you take a student, right? You can create a class for the student. Every student will have the common properties: student number, student name, student address, like this here. But when you divide the students into number of branches, ECE student, CSC student, like civil student, IT student, mechanical student, the subject may be different here, but every student will have the hall ticket numbers, name, and some address, all these things here common. So for that, you can declare a parent class for the student, and create the class for EC student, create the class for CSC student, create the class for some civil students, because subjects are different here. Subjects are different. The subjects, those subjects concept you can add in the subclasses, but common properties you can inherit from the student class here, right? That is, reusability will increase here. Next, how to implement the inheritance, right? So as of now, we have seen theoretically what is inheritance and what are the some why we have to use the inheritance, but how to implement this one here, how to derive a new class from the existing class. This syntax you have to follow here. So this is syntax. Here we have to use the class keyword, right? And here we have to give the name of the subclass, that is which class you want to derive, right? So the class subclass name which is derived from the existing class, and access mode specifies in which mode you want to inherit the properties of the base class. So there are three possibilities. You can inherit in public mode, you can inherit in private mode, you can inherit in protected mode. Already we have discussed about these access specifiers. In place of access specifier, you can use any one of the access, in place of access mode, you can use any one of the access specifier, either public, private, protected here. Suppose if you use public here, so your base class is publicly inherited here, right? And if you use private here, your base class is privately inherited. If you use protected, your base class is protectedly inherited here, right? And this is the name of the base class, okay? So from which you are inheriting here. If you go for in previous example, here class, let's take class subclass name is car. Access mode, let's take public here, and base class name is vehicle here, right? So and here whatever code you want to write within this, you can write within the body of the particular class here, right? So this is the basic implementation syntax of the inheritance. Is it clear? I hope you understood this one here, right? So only syntax. First, class keyword is common. Once again, I am repeating. This is the name of the subclass which you want to derive, and this is the mode, access mode of the base class. In which mode you want to access the base class, either public, private, protected, right? And this is the name of the base class here, right? And here, whatever new methods if you want to add, or if you want to add new properties in the derived class, all this you can do here. So then this subclass will have properties of base class as well as properties of its own, right? So properties of base class as well as properties of its own here, because which is deriving all the properties of base class, as well as some new properties can also be added in this derived class here, right? See, same explanation to the previous slide. Subclass name is the name of the subclass. Access mode, which can be public, private, protected. Base class name is the name of the base class from which you want to inherit the subclass here, right? And one more thing here, just derived class doesn't inherit access to private data members. However, it inherits a full parent objects which contain private members which that class declares here. So that means already see, in place of access mode, if you derive the parent class in a private mode, the private members of the base class are not inherited into the derived class here. That is the concept of note here, right? So, but the object of the parent class can be inherited, right, into the derived class. So you can see one simple example how we can implement the inheritance here. Sample code I am taking here. Just have declared one class, class parent here. Parent is the class and it is a base class. Within the comments I have written here for your knowledge. And I am declaring one public member, int IDP here. IDP, that is a parent ID you can consider. Now parent class is closed here. Declaration is over. Then class child, it is a subclass colon which is inheriting the parent class in public mode, deriving the child class in public mode. That's what public here. In place of access mode, this is the parent class name, because which is in child class is deriving from the parent, so it is parent here. And again it is adding one more its own member here, data member, int id c here. So this is id of child, this is the id of parent here. So after deriving this child class here, the parent data member is only IDP, but the child data members becomes IDP and IDC, because the the major concept of the inheritance is inheriting the properties of parent class into a derived class. So which will inherit, the child class inherit the properties or data members which are declared in the parent class. What is a data member declared here? IDP. So this also becomes a member of the child class here. So that you can access this parent class member by using the child class object here, right? So here, what are the members of the child class now? IDP and IDC, because which is inherited or derived from the parent class here, right? IDC is its own member and IDP is inherited from the parent class here. So in the main function, just you create an object. Now you are creating only object of the child class. So generally, how do you access the members of a class? By creating its class object, we have to access the members of a class here, right? But here what I am doing is, just I am creating object of the child class, obj1, and I am trying to access the I am trying to access the member of the parent class here. So then you can see here, object of class child has all data members, because already I explained in previous slide, the member of a parent class also becomes a member of the child class, because child class is derived from the parent class, right? So you can use the child class object to access the member of the parent class here. So that's what here I'm using object one. Basically it is an object of child class dot IDC, ID of child equal to 7, and object one dot IDP. So same object I am using, child class object. I am not creating the parent class object here. I am using only child class object and dot, and this is IDP is the parent class member, right? So which is accessed by using child class object here equal to 91. So now you can display both child class ID, child ID and parent ID here, right? By using derived class object. So by this example,